Pierre Tidwell 55 here. This is my take on the whole Apple-Samsung suit. Basically, Apple is suing Samsung because they're claiming that Samsung copied their design in their Galaxy S3 phone and in their Galaxy Tab 10.1-inch tablet. My take is that there are similarities, yes, that obviously Apple's designs have inspired an entire generation of smartphones and tablets, and the design of which. Earliest example I can think of is right here. The BlackBerry, I think this is the BlackBerry Storm phone, came out about 6 months, maybe even less than that, after the original iPhone came out. Now, obviously, this handset, this is the original. This is obviously inspired, if not copied, from the design elements of the iPhone. You've got both of them are rectangular in shape, but same basic overall dimensions. Rounded corners, lots of lots of curves, curved frame, a lot of, visual eye candy, square icons on the phone and everything else. Interestingly, Apple never sued RIM. Okay, they never did. Don't know why they didn't do it, but Apple never sued RIM, even though this device, which came after this one, is clearly inspired. And I would so moving on to the now here's a side-by-side comparison of a Galaxy S3 and an iPhone, both of them white. Now, it's kind of a bad picture because you can't see the icon arrangement on the Samsung, but there are clearly multiple differences in the design of these two devices. Yeah, they're both more or less rectangular, and they both have front-facing camera and light sensors on top, sort of an oblong a receiver earpiece and a button on the bottom. Okay, but that's where the similarities end. If you look at the Samsung, you notice the thing that sticks out at me most of all is it's bigger. It has a bigger screen, a lot more screen real estate, and also this bad boy has a super AMOLED display, which the iPhone over here lacks. So, superficial similarities, yes. Was this one inspired by this one? No doubt that it was. Is this a copy of this one? I don't think so. I don't think there's any way anyone is going to mistake a Samsung Galaxy S3 from an iPhone. I just don't see it happening. Okay, so what's and the other one that they're the other piece of their suit? Oh yeah, the iPad versus the Galaxy Tab 10.1-inch. Now, again, one device obviously inspired by the other device. For those of you keeping track at home, on the left is the Galaxy Tab, on the right is the iPad. Now, are they both rectangular tablet computer devices? They sure are. Do they both have black bezels? Well, yep, sure enough, they both have black bezels. Do they both have rounded corners? Yep. Okay, I see the rounded corners on both of them. But there again, I don't see how anyone, when you look at the overall dimensions of them, notice the iPad is much more square than the Galaxy Tab is. Overall, the Galaxy Tab appears to be a little bit longer excuse me, a little bit longer and a little bit narrower than the iPad. Now, this is a pretty good shot that both of them have their, you can see the icons arranged on both screens. Uh, okay, they both use icons to access applications and programs. Okay, yeah, I mean that's been around since the very first version of Macintosh and the very first version of Windows. I mean, that's kind of how that's the way people are used to interfacing with computers. Uh, I do notice a difference here. The iPad has a dock. I don't see a dock anywhere on the Galaxy tab. I'm guessing that one's probably running Honeycomb would be my guess. Anyway, so I mean, there's a major difference right there. I mean, as a matter of fact, I've never seen any Android device that has any kind of a dock. So anyway, inspired by yes, direct copy. No, I disagree. I don't think it's a copy at all. So when it comes down to it, if this suit really isn't about, oh, they stole our design ideas, then what is it really about? Well, before he passed away, Steve Jobs said something to the effect of that he was willing to spend every last penny that Apple has in the bank to destroy Android. He considered Android, not these individual devices, he considered the Android operating system a threat to Apple's dominance in the mobile computing space. And I think this goes back, I think this goes all the way back, to the Stone Age when Apple lost their dominance to Microsoft in the desktop computing space because uh, of because a judge in a similar case said, hey, you cannot patent the look and feel of an operating system, which is the old Mac versus Windows 3.1 thing. So anyway, because of differing business models, Microsoft would sell Windows to whatever PC manufacturer. Apple's always maintained a closed ecosystem with the hardware and the software, and it's worked for them. It was a long struggle, but it has worked for them. But I think there's this corporate culture in Apple that says, once we get a toehold, once we get the lead in a market segment, we're not gonna put up with any competition. It's not that Samsung's a threat to them. I don't think Samsung's a threat to them at all. I don't think anybody's a threat to them. Not an individual device manufacturer, but Android as a sort of open operating system and as a sort of mobile computing platform absolutely does threaten the dominance of iOS in the mobile computing space. And Apple can't stand that. They won't stand for it. So hence Samsung's in court. And if they win with Samsung, I think they're going to go after HTC next. I think they'll go after Motorola, Toshiba, anybody else who's making Android devices and having any success with them. I think that's what's going to happen if they win this. And it's going to be bad for us, it's going to be bad for the consumers all around if Apple wins this. So, is it about design and patent infringement? Maybe a little bit, but mostly what it's about it's about the heirs to an empire carrying out the last wishes of their dead god king. And that's what it's all about. BR Tidwell 55. Thanks for watching.